This is Josh Lamb. In completing the commitment survey self-assessment in It's a Mental Thing by Dale and Robbins, I found a lot of great insights and things that I wish to continue to improve on in my practice as a physical educator and coach. After completing the survey, I was quite surprised to see the big number of strongly agreed statements from the survey. These are things that I scored a 5 out of 5 in, things that I felt that I did strongly. So the first one is that I consistently engage behaviors that help me improve. I'm always looking for and researching new ways to improve my instruction and my ability to connect with students to help them appreciate and understand the value of physical education. I rate myself as a 5 that I never cut corners in my training. I am a by the book type of person. I try and document everything I can. I do things right because I care about my job. And so very rarely, if ever, will I cut corners in providing instruction to students because I think that if I'm there and they're there, then we need to make the most of our time. And if I cut corners, then that's just a detriment to their education. The third statement is that I consistently set outcome as well as process and performance goals. I'm a big goal setter, but more than just setting goals, I try and put a lot of practice into the process. I focus more on the process. And so as a teacher, I model this for students. I focus more on the day-to-day things as that's going to develop the habit of lifelong fitness practices. I also record my goals and I continually check in to make sure that I'm making progress in this. So I not only write it down on a little notebook that I keep, but I have a document on Google Drive that I always put in new goals, little reminders to myself, little self-affirmations to keep me on track and to keep me honest with myself. Every day I come into the workplace with a good attitude. I'm always in a good mood because I love my job. I think it's a great opportunity for me. I find that I was very fortunate in receiving this position, and so I always want to bring that positive attitude to be that shining light for students in the classroom and at school. The last statement that I strongly agreed in, that I scored a 5 in, is having a balanced perspective on sport and life outside of sport. So I'm interpreting this as far as teaching goes, but I draw some very clear lines between both teaching and my time outside of teaching. So I try and find that balance to where I'm not going to burn out in one thing, or my energy going towards something is not going to be negatively affecting something else. So I try and find that balance, even though it's tough to do. Thankfully, as a physical educator, my personal life and my professional life are very connected. They're both things that I love to do, and the activities in both worlds kind of mesh nicely together. These last four statements are things that I feel that I still need to improve on. These are statements that I score myself as a 4 out of 5. So it's still a pretty high score, but these are things that I want to keep working on to develop and improve as a teacher. The first one is having the determination to succeed. There's a certain point at which I feel that in order to take success to a new level, it's requiring a lot of time and energy, and it may not be worth the time invested to make that small marginal gain. So that's something I have to determine for myself, is whether or not taking something one step further is truly worth the time or the sacrifice I'm going to have to make to my life and other lesson plans to reach that new level of success. One thing that I really struggle with that I want to work on in the future is asking administrators, who I will interpret as coaches, to work on skills with me. At a small school site where there's only about 10 teachers and one principal, there's no other administrator. It's hard to be able to have the courage to ask someone to take time out of their very busy day, because everyone's wearing multiple hats, doing multiple things, to come in and sit in on one of my classes to provide me with feedback. But this is still something I value and wish to improve on in the future, is asking for help when I need it. The last thing, something that I still wish to improve on, is to sacrifice aspects of my life that are detrimental to my performance. So very rarely will I do something that limits my ability to teach the next day. But this means that I have to turn down maybe going out to dinner with friends or staying up late and binge watching a new show that comes out. But very rarely is this the case. And so I just need to keep in mind that my priorities are in the classroom, and that's where my time and energy is going to be spent because it brings the most value to my life as a teacher. So this survey by Dale and Robbins I found to be extremely helpful in figuring out that I am very committed to my practice, that I continue to want to improve, but that I'm doing quite well in my practice and that I'm bringing the right mindset to my profession. Thank you.